Hey everyone, this is the Thursday, February 13th edition of Off the Ledge. Welcome, I'm glad that you're here. Let's start with a little bit of an astrology check-in from our resident astrologer, Kathy Beal. And today, let me just look at for today's, is the 13th. Here we go. Astrology for today.
This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for Thursday, February 13th. Edgy day. No matter what you do, you can't get calm because your intuition is nudging you, and it would do you a big favor if you turn around and look at it. You have the potential to strategize something. This is from Mercury making really weird aspects to Neptune and the asteroid Pallas Athena.
There it is. Go to EmpowermentUnlimited.net to book a reading with Kathy Beal. She's an amazing astrologer. Let's jump into our 365 Science of Mind thought for today. I know only right action. A new heart I will give you, and a new spirit will I put into you. That's from Ezekiel in the Bible. Remaining constantly open to the love of God within ourselves can produce great results. Though the essence of love may be elusive, it pervades everything, renewing our souls and uplifting our emotions. We can all live happily, harmoniously, and successfully with one another when each of us practices a conscious recognition of the presence of love within ourselves and within everyone. We can overcome the troubles and difficulties that we have allowed to enter into our lives when we remember that love is that creating and sustaining presence within all. Let's not forget that any preponderance of hatred is an effort by the dark side to get you into fear instead of love. Let's pull some cards for today. I want to share that I feel that my guides are telling me to tell us all to get into gratitude, because we do have a tendency to spiral. And especially those who have PTSD from whatever history that they have in their lives. And most people that I meet do have PTSD at some level. So it's really important that we slow ourselves down. There's a lot happening in our country right now. There's a lot. If you're a psychic, it's not an easy time. If you're a sensitive, it's not an easy time. And Kathy kind of addressed that in the astrology. It's a time to really strategize and to have strategies for calming down. And one strategy is the breathing that we do. So let's do that now. Let's just do one breath in. Hold it. And a longer breath out. And that's a strategy to calm down. And do that several times in a row, and you'll find your physiology calms down. The gratitude, I'm finding, is really exceedingly important to handle the stress. So all the things that we feel are not getting done, are not to our liking, that are things to be afraid of, can be sort of eliminated, at least temporarily, by our insistence on looking at what's good. I was sharing earlier with Kathy that my apartment has sprung some leaks. Just using that as an example, I can panic, I can freak out, I can think how terrible, or I can go, that's going to be handled. I know how to get that handled, right? Whatever it is. When I was learning most profusely from Sadhguru, one of the things that he taught us that was so helpful was when we're in the present moment and we decide that we're able to respond to whatever happens. And you may have heard this before, this kind of teaching. Being response able is the positioning that we want to be in. Whatever happens, we'll be able to respond to it. And that goes for us personally and for the collective. Whatever happens, we can take those deep breaths. We can center our minds. We can make an effort to only think one thought at a time, or at least one main thought at a time. And when we make that thought a positive, enriching, nourishing, encouraging thought, then we're on the right trajectory. If we want to feel good, Wayne Dyer used to say, you can say, I want to feel good, and that can be your intention. And he would also say, I want to feel God. You want to feel the presence of this universal intelligence that created us and that's creating everything that we're going through, even when we don't understand why. We get ourselves into a lot of trouble when we go, why, when? Well, because it really kind of indicates that we've lost our footing. Sometimes it indicates that. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. I want to remind you, too, that tonight we have our Grassroots of Democracy, which is now kind of an energy meeting. It used to be more boots on the ground, but now what we do is once a week, we do a half an hour live stream. The first 15 minutes, I talk about what's going on and my thoughts, just like this. And the last 15 minutes, it's a guided meditation to take us all off the ledge and to get us into right thinking. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. Remember, you're always in control. You decide how to respond and what to respond to. And one other thing I want to tell you is do not watch the news. The news has been designed to terrify you. So only if you can watch what's going on. I don't recommend mainstream media. I think most people know that, because it's been very much hijacked by the fascists. But if you hear a news story that's terrifying, just make an effort to keep an open mind to how it might actually work out for the good, how it may actually be resolved for the highest good of all, and how sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. And that's kind of challenging. I find that people have a hard time thinking about it as a blessing in disguise, but that's the practice. We are getting stronger. We are being asked to draw on our inner reserves of spiritual strength. And if we feel like we don't have enough inner reserves of spiritual strength, we're being called upon to develop them. So we can go to any spiritual books that we can think of that were helpful to us in the past, that are helpful to us now. This one is very helpful. That's why I'm reading from it every day. Let's look at a few cards. What we are experiencing right now, we have to fully be in. If you're having an experience of panic, meet the panic. Talk to it. See where it's catastrophizing and making up stories about things that aren't even happening. Be in the experience of, oh my goodness, look at how my fear is running me, and take those deep breaths and just get it to be less intense. We're integrating this new energy that is part of the higher frequency vibration that this planet is moving into. There's a lot going on in the cosmos that's really unprecedented. So we need to integrate the new energy. So in the face of scary things, the way we integrate is we bring a new kind of an energy to that thing that's frightening. So there is integration. So the new thing that you can bring into that experience of being frightened is, I'm aware that the presence of the divine God, divine intelligence, whatever you refer to the higher intelligence as, I'm merging with that. Now I want to mention to you, that's what's been done throughout history. It's in the relatively short period of time, starting what I would say from the Industrial Revolution, where the idea of a God has been kind of pushed to the side. let go of all the worries and the fears. During this time every day, I want to feel like I'm helping to reboot and to get the scary thoughts to pivot away and to be redirected. There is always a solution. There's never a time where assistance cannot arrive. So let's make it our creed that, like a friend of mine, my best friend was saying, like what Louise Hay always said, out of this situation, only good can come. Even when it looks like all hope is lost, it's never lost. All hope is never lost. And let's reflect today on what we're grateful for. It could be the simplest little things. Yeah, my roof is leaking, my ceilings are leaking, but I have a roof over my head. And it will be addressed. Yeah, I'd like to have a lot more money, but I have my health, and I have happiness, and I have all of you. Yeah, it's raining really hard outside, and it's a crappy day, but I could just put on some rain gear and go out there and walk, and I'm sure it would be invigorating. Simple things. I might be upset about my physical condition. I'm just throwing these ideas out. I might be upset about that, but there's always something that I can do about it. When I'm feeling low energy, there are things that I can do to increase my energy. I can maybe take a supplement. I can maybe decide that that's it. I'm tired of being low energy. I'm going to move my body more. There's so many things that we can do. The more that we feel empowered and that we can take charge of our personal situations, that has a ripple effect on the collective. And I really believe that we're in this time where we're supposed to recognize, and I say supposed to meaning the best course of action, that we're co-creating with the divine. And the higher powers and our guides and our angels want us to recognize that we are not victims unless we choose that. And we have free will, and we're always at choice. So let's choose. We are not victims. We are co-creators of the loving, peaceful, harmonious world that we envision. We are not victims. We give up victim consciousness. And when it looks like we can't really do anything on the physical about a certain situation, we work on the energy. We work with the spiritual energy. We co-create with the divine. So let's be very, very vigilant with our thinking. Let's reel ourselves in when we're all overcome with fear. Pull yourself away from the news if that's what's happening. And go talk to some fun people. That's why I'm talking to you. So see us tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our half-hour meeting. Please pass it on. If these videos are helpful to you, please share them. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. All that good stuff that gets the message out. And to book a session, psychic.AnnetteDion.com. And to order your Kamala 1 mug, psychic.AnnetteDion.com. I apologize for the backwards letters. I'm still trying to figure that out. All right, love you all. Namaste. Be good.